Story title: The Day I Spoke English for the First Time. My name is Alex, and I want to tell you a story about the first time I spoke English in front of people. I was 12 years old, and I lived in a small town where most people spoke only my native language. One day, my school announced an English speaking contest. At first, I didn't want to join. I was shy, and I was afraid I would make mistakes. But my teacher told me, "Don't be afraid. Mistakes help you learn." So I decided to try. For 2 weeks, I practiced every day. I stood in front of the mirror and repeated my sentences again and again. My family helped me too. My little sister listened and clapped for me, even when I said something wrong. The big day came. I walked onto the stage, looked at the people, and felt my heart beating fast. I took a deep breath and started my speech. Hello, everyone. My name is Alex, and I want to talk about my dream. I spoke slowly. I made one or two small mistakes, but I kept going. At the end, people clapped for me. I smiled. I was proud, not because I won a prize, but because I was brave enough to try. Interpretation, meaning of the story. This story shows that learning a language takes courage. It's okay to make mistakes. What matters is that we try and we keep learning. Speaking English is not about being perfect. It's about communication and confidence. And when we take small steps, we grow stronger. Part 2. A new friend from far away. After the speaking contest, something special happened. 1 week later, a new student came to our school. His name was John, and he was from Canada. He didn't speak my language, and I didn't know how to talk to him, except in English. I remembered the contest and how I practiced speaking. I thought, maybe I can help him. So during lunch break, I walked over to John and said, "Hi, my name is Alex. Do you want to sit with us?" He smiled and said, "Yes, thank you." We started talking every day. At first, we used simple words. I would say things like, "This is a pencil," or "Do you like football?" He taught me new words too, like snowball and pancakes. We became good friends, and because of him, my English got better and better. One day, our teacher said, "Alex, your English has improved a lot. Would you like to help other students too?" I said, "Yes, of course." And from that day, I started helping others in my class with English. Interpretation, meaning of part 2. This part of the story shows how English can help people make new friends. Speaking another language isn't just for school, it's for life. It connects us with others. Helping someone else can also help you grow and learn more. Even small words can build big friendships. Part 3. A trip that changed everything. 1 year later, something exciting happened. Our school planned a trip to the city. We were going to visit a museum, a zoo, and a big library. But the best part? There would be a group of students visiting from another country, England. I was nervous and excited. I thought, this is my chance to speak real English with real English speakers. On the day of the trip, we met the English students at the museum. One girl named Emma said, "Hi, what's your name?" I smiled and said, "My name is Alex. Nice to meet you." She smiled back and said, "Nice to meet you too." We walked around the museum together and talked about everything we saw. Sometimes I didn't understand a word, but I asked, "Can you say that again?" Or, "What does that mean?" And she helped me. She told me, "Your English is very good." That made me feel happy inside. I wasn't just learning English, I was using it, and it felt real. Later at the library, I found an English storybook. I read the first page out loud. My teacher heard me and said, "Alex, you've come so far. I'm proud of you." At that moment, I realized something. English wasn't just a subject, it was a door. A door to friends, to travel, to stories, to the world. Interpretation, meaning of part 3. This part of the story shows how learning English can open new doors in life. It's not just for tests or school. It helps you meet people, understand new cultures, and feel more confident in the world. When you practice and stay brave, anything is possible. Part 4. My first English presentation online. After the trip to the city, I felt more confident in English. So when my teacher asked if anyone wanted to give a short presentation online for students from another country, I raised my hand. The topic was simple: my life and my country. I had to speak for 5 minutes. It would be a video call with students from India, Brazil, and Germany. I felt a little nervous, but also excited. I spent 3 days preparing. I wrote down my speech, practiced it in front of my mirror, and even recorded myself to check my voice. My sister helped again, and she said, "You sound like a real English speaker now." The day came. I sat in front of my laptop. My heart was beating fast. When it was my turn, I smiled and said, "Hello, my name is Alex. I live in a small town and I want to tell you about it." I talked about my school, my hobbies, and the food we eat. I showed a few photos too. Everyone listened, and when I finished, they clapped. Yes, even on the screen. After the call, one student from Brazil messaged me, "Your presentation was great. You spoke clearly and slowly. I understood everything." That message made me smile for the whole day. Interpretation, meaning of Part 4. This part shows how English can connect people around the world, even from home. Speaking online is also speaking in real life. It helps you become more confident, learn how to express yourself, and feel proud of your progress. Every time you try, you become better. Part 5. My dream for the future. After the online presentation, I knew one thing for sure. I wanted to keep learning English, not just for school, but for my future. One evening, I sat down with my notebook and wrote at the top of the page, "My dream." Under that, I wrote, "I want to become someone who helps others learn English just like my teacher helped me." I thought about all the people I met because of English, John, Emma, and the students online. I remembered how scared I was at the beginning and how far I had come. So I made a plan. I would read one English book every month. I would watch English movies with subtitles. I would keep speaking, even if I made mistakes. And one day I would travel to another country and speak English with people face to face. I told my teacher about my dream. She smiled and said, "Alex, that's a beautiful goal, and you've already started the journey." Now I help younger students in my school. I teach them simple English words and encourage them to try. I tell them, if I can do it, you can too. Interpretation, final meaning of the story. This final part shows that language learning is not just about today, it's about your future. English can give you new goals, new chances, and the ability to help others. When you believe in yourself and stay on the path, your small steps today can become big dreams tomorrow. The full story. Summary. Part 1. First time speaking English. Part 2. Making a new friend through English. Part 3. Meeting foreign students on a trip. Part 4. Giving an online presentation. Part 5. Dreaming of the future with English. Would you like speaking practice questions based on this story? A simple version of this story in audio format? Next part. Part 6. The English Club. After I started helping younger students at my school, I had a new idea. I went to my teacher and said, "What if we start an English club?" She loved the idea. We told students they could come once a week to practice speaking, play games, and learn English in a fun way. At first, only 4 students came. We played a game called Word Match, and we all laughed when someone said chicken instead of kitchen. Each week, more students joined. We practiced simple conversations, sang English songs, and even acted in short plays. I became the leader of the club, and I felt proud every time someone learned a new word or said a full sentence with a big smile. One day, a shy girl named Layla came to the club. She didn't speak much at first. I remembered how I was in the beginning, so I helped her slowly. After 2 months, she gave her first speech. She said, "Thank you, Alex. You helped me believe in myself. That was the best reward I could get." Interpretation, meaning of Part 6. This chapter shows how learning can turn into leading. When you help others grow, you grow even more. Confidence spreads, and a small idea, like an English club, can bring big change. Teaching is also learning. Would you like Part 7? It could be about Alex going on a trip to an English-speaking country, Alex joining an international online project, Alex winning a scholarship to study abroad. Part 7. A journey to another country. One day, my teacher came into class with a big smile. She said, "There is an international student program. One student from our school can win a scholarship to study in the UK for 1 month. You must write an essay in English to apply." I felt nervous again, just like when I joined my first speaking contest. But I remembered everything I had learned. I thought, this is my chance. I spent 3 days writing my essay. I wrote about my journey with English, how I was shy, how I practiced, how I started the English club, and how I helped others. My last sentence was, "I believe that language can change a life, and I want to keep changing lives, starting with mine." 2 weeks later, the principal called my name. I had won the scholarship. When I arrived in the UK, everything felt different. New streets, new food, new people. But the moment I spoke English, people understood me. I made friends from other countries. We shared stories, helped each other with new words, and even laughed at our mistakes. One evening I stood in front of a class there and shared my story. When I finished, one boy said, "You're really inspiring. You make me want to try harder." And in that moment I felt something I had never felt before. I was no longer just learning English. I was living it. Interpretation, meaning of Part 7. This chapter shows how language opens real doors to the world. When you keep learning and don't give up, new opportunities come, ones that take you far from where you began. The most powerful part of learning is using what you've learned to inspire others. Would you like to continue with Part 8? Perhaps about Alex returning home and making a bigger difference in the community? Part 8. Bringing the world home. After one amazing month in the UK, it was time to go home. I was sad to leave, but I also felt full of new ideas, memories, and hope. When I arrived back at school, everyone wanted to know about my trip. The younger students asked, "Did you meet famous people? Was the food strange? Did you speak English all the time?" I laughed and said, "Yes, and I loved every minute." But I didn't just tell stories. I wanted to share what I had learned. So I restarted the English club, but this time it was different. Now we had English days, where we only spoke English for 1 hour. We watched videos from different countries, wrote emails to students in other parts of the world, and even held a mini English festival with food, games, and music from English-speaking countries. One day, my teacher asked me to speak to all the teachers in the school. I gave a short talk about why English was important, not just as a subject, but as a bridge to the world. I said, "English helped me meet new people, travel, and grow. But more than that, it helped me believe in myself. I want every student here to feel that too." After my talk, one of the teachers came to me and said, "Alex, you're not just a student anymore. You're a leader." That was the day I realized my story was still going, and maybe, just maybe, I could help others write their own. Interpretation, meaning of Part 8. This chapter shows how experiences abroad can change not only the traveler, but the whole community. When we learn something valuable, we can bring it back and share it. Leadership is not about being the best, it's about helping others grow, and every student has the power to inspire others. Part 9. My Voice, My Channel. One evening, I was watching videos on YouTube. Some people were teaching English, sharing stories, or helping others learn simple words and phrases. I thought, why not me? I have a story to tell too. So I made a plan. I would start a YouTube channel to help students like me, shy, nervous, and just beginning. I called the channel English with Alex. My first video was called Don't Be Afraid to Speak. I recorded it with my phone, sitting in my room. I said, "Hello, my name is Alex. I used to be afraid to speak English. I thought I wasn't good enough, but I kept trying, and now I want to help you try too." At first, only a few people watched, but slowly, more students found my videos. They left comments like, "This helped me a lot. Thank you. I feel more confident now." Can you make a video about daily conversations? Every week I made a new video. English for beginners, how to speak in class, small talk practice, and even English games you can play at home. Then one day, I got a message from a teacher in another country. She wrote, "My students watch your videos every week. You are helping more people than you know." That message made me realize I was not just helping in my town or my school, I was helping around the world. Interpretation, meaning of Part 9. This chapter shows how the internet can turn a personal journey into a global mission. Everyone has a voice. When you share your story, your lessons, and your heart, you never know who you might inspire. Even one small idea, like a video, can change many lives. Part 10. One World, One Voice. Months passed, and my YouTube channel kept growing. Students from all over the world were watching, learning, and leaving kind messages. One morning, I opened my email and saw a message that made my heart skip. It was from the organizers of an international youth language conference. The subject said, "We would love for you to be our guest speaker." I read the message again and again. They had found my channel, watched my videos, and wanted me to speak about how language connects people around the world. The event would be online, but people from more than 30 countries would be watching. I felt nervous again, but also excited. I remembered that shy boy who once stood at a school contest, afraid to say hello. Now, I was speaking to the world. On the day of the conference, I wore a simple shirt and sat in front of my computer. When it was my turn, I took a deep breath and said, "My name is Alex. I'm not a native English speaker. I'm not perfect, but I'm passionate, and that's enough." Language is not about rules. It's about people. English helped me connect, dream, and lead, and I believe it can do the same for anyone. When I finished, I saw hundreds of messages in the chat. "Amazing speech. So inspiring. Thank you for giving me hope." Some even said, "You made me believe I can speak too." At that moment, I didn't feel small anymore. I felt like my voice, just one voice, had joined many others. We were from different countries, but we shared one dream: to connect, to understand, to grow. Interpretation, meaning of Part 10. This chapter shows how a voice, no matter how small it begins, can grow and touch the world. Learning English or any language is not about being perfect. It's about being brave, being open, and using your voice to connect with others. One voice can spark many. Part 11. The Teacher I Became. Years went by, and my life continued to change. I graduated from school, and my love for English grew even stronger. I decided to study English in university, not just to learn the language better, but to teach it to others, just like my teacher had inspired me. After I finished university, I got a job teaching English at the same school I had attended as a student. It was an exciting feeling to stand in front of the classroom and see new students who were just like me, nervous, shy, but eager to learn. One day, a student named Sarah came up to me after class. She said, "I'm really scared to speak English. What if I make a mistake?" I smiled and told her, "When I started, I was afraid too, but I kept trying, and so can you. Mistakes are part of the journey. What matters is that you never give up." I could see her face light up. The next day, Sarah answered a question in class. It wasn't perfect, but it was brave, and that bravery made all the difference. As the years went by, I continued teaching, but I also continued learning. I learned from my students, from my experiences, and from the mistakes I made along the way. And every time I saw a student grow in their English skills, I remembered the journey that started with a shy boy in front of a mirror. One day, a former student, Layla, who had once been too shy to speak, came back to visit. She had studied English in another country and was now fluent. She looked at me and said, "You made me believe in myself. You changed my life." That moment reminded me why I started this journey in the first place: to inspire, to help, and to show others that learning a language is not just about words. It's about building confidence, creating connections, and following dreams. Interpretation, meaning of Part 11. This final chapter shows how teaching others can be one of the most powerful ways to grow. Becoming a teacher doesn't mean having all the answers. It means sharing your journey and inspiring others to keep going, no matter how many mistakes they make. The real reward is in seeing your students succeed, and knowing that you played a part in their story. Full story. Summary. Part 1. Alex's first time speaking English. Part 2. Making friends through English. Part 3. Meeting students from other countries on a trip. Part 4. Giving an online presentation. Part 5. Dreaming of the future with English. Part 6. Starting the English Club. Part 7. Winning a scholarship to the UK. Part 8. Bringing the world home with new ideas. Part 9. Starting a YouTube channel. Part 10. Speaking at an international conference. Part 11. Becoming a teacher and inspiring others. Here are some options for the next steps. Expand the story with more chapters. We could add more chapters to Alex's story, where he becomes a renowned teacher, starts a school for language learners, or travels to more countries. This would keep the journey exciting and filled with opportunities for language learning. Create speaking and listening practice. Based on the story, we can create speaking exercises, questions, and role-play scenarios to help you practice. For example, how did Alex improve his English? What methods did he use? Imagine you're Alex. How would you describe your first presentation in English? Can you explain the importance of mistakes in learning a language? Build a learning workbook. I can make a downloadable workbook for you based on the story. This workbook would include vocabulary lists, e.g., common words Alex used in the story, comprehension questions, e.g., understanding the meaning of the chapters, speaking prompts, e.g., practice speaking like Alex during key moments of the story. Create an audio version. If you prefer listening practice, I could help you create an audio version of the story for you to practice listening and speaking along with. This could include voice exercises where you repeat phrases and sentences from the story. Start a new project. You might want to start a new project like creating your own English learning blog, YouTube channel, or podcast, just like Alex did. I can help you plan it and guide you through the first steps. Scenario 1. Introducing yourself at an international event. Imagine you're Alex at the International Youth Language Conference. You have to introduce yourself to a global audience. You could say, "Hello everyone, my name is Alex. I'm excited to be here today. I used to be afraid to speak English, but now I teach and help others. I believe that language can connect us all." Scenario 2. A conversation with a shy student. You're the teacher now, and a new student named Sarah is afraid to speak English. You can say, "Sarah, don't worry about making mistakes. We all start somewhere. Just take it one step at a time. I'll help you through it." Scenario 3. Explaining your journey in English. Alex is speaking to a group of students about his journey to learn English. You can say, "I started with simple words. It wasn't easy at first, but the more I practiced, the more confident I became. Mistakes were just part of the process." 2. Vocabulary practice. Key words from the story. We can create a vocabulary list of important words and phrases from the story. Here's a quick example, and we can turn this into more exercises. Confident, brave, journey, mistakes, inspire, shy presentation, scholarship opportunity, global activity. 1. Create sentences using these words. Activity 2. Use these words in your own short story. For example, when I was a child, I was shy, but I became more confident when I started practicing English. 3. Comprehension and writing practice. You can test your understanding of the story with comprehension questions and practice writing answers. Some example questions based on the story. What was Alex's first experience with speaking English? How did Alex feel when he was invited to speak at the International Youth Language Conference? What did Alex learn about making mistakes? Why did Alex start the YouTube channel? What was Alex's dream at the end of the story? Writing task. Write a short essay on the following: how learning English has changed my life and how I can use it to help others. 4. Create your own English learning project. Alex created a YouTube channel. You can take inspiration from that and start your own learning project. Here are some steps. Step 1. Choose a topic you're passionate about. It could be something like English for Beginners Daily, English Conversations, English for travel cultural exchange through language. Step 2. Plan your content. Write down 5 video ideas. Step 3. Record your first video. Don't worry about perfection. The goal is to practice and share what you know. 5. Practice listening and speaking. Together, we can also focus on listening skills. I can recommend YouTube videos or podcasts that match your level, and you can practice speaking along with them. Let me know if you'd like suggestions. Next steps. Would you like to role play a specific scene from the story? Should I create a practice worksheet with vocabulary, writing, and speaking tasks for you to download? Step 1. Speaking practice, role play, and conversation. We will pick some key moments from the story and turn them into speaking exercises. Practice these dialogues to build your confidence in real-life situations. Scenario 1. The first presentation context. Alex is about to give his first English presentation. Your task. Imagine you are Alex, standing in front of your classmates. Practice introducing yourself in English like Alex did. What you could say, "Hello, my name is Alex. I used to be afraid to speak English, but now I'm excited to share my story with you. I hope you enjoy it, and remember, mistakes are okay. We all start somewhere." Short-term goal. Watch 5 English videos this week and practice speaking along with them. Medium-term goal. Write an essay or blog post in English about your language learning journey. Long-term goal. Create a project like Alex's YouTube channel, where you teach others or share your English learning experience. You can set a reminder each week to reflect on your progress and see how far you've come. Tracking goals will help keep you motivated. Next steps. Would you like me to create a downloadable workbook for these activities? Should we focus on specific speaking practice or role-play scenarios for deeper practice? Step 7. Advanced speaking practice, dialogue and real-life scenarios. We'll take some more advanced speaking scenarios from Alex's journey to practice and improve your conversational skills. Scenario 1. Giving a motivational speech. Context. Alex is now a teacher and gives motivational talks to his students about the importance of learning English. Your task. Imagine you're Alex, and you're speaking to a group of new students at your first class. Prepare and practice your speech. What you could say, "Welcome, everyone. I know learning a new language can be difficult, but it's also an incredible journey. I once sat where you are today, unsure of my ability to speak English, but with hard work and patience, I can now help you do the same. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're a sign you're learning. Let's make this a journey together where we all grow and succeed." Role play exercise. Practice giving your speech out loud in front of a mirror or record yourself. Focus on your tone, confidence, and clarity. If possible, ask someone for feedback on how your speech sounded. Scenario 2. A job interview in English context. Alex is interviewing for a new teaching position abroad. Imagine you're Alex preparing for the interview. Your task: respond to some common interview questions in English. Practice answering out loud. Interview questions. Why do you want to teach English? What methods do you use to help students who are struggling with the language? How do you handle challenges in the classroom? Sample answers. I believe language is a powerful tool that connects people. I want to teach English because I've experienced firsthand how learning a new language can open doors to new opportunities. I use interactive methods such as games, conversation practice, and real-life scenarios to engage students and build their confidence. When students are struggling, I try to understand where they need extra support. I offer extra practice, provide clear explanations, and encourage them to keep going, even when they make mistakes. My goal is to make them feel comfortable enough to try and improve. Scenario 3. Giving feedback to a student. Context. As a teacher, Alex needs to give constructive feedback to a student, Sarah, who is struggling with speaking English. Your task. Imagine you're Alex. How would you give positive yet constructive feedback to Sarah? What you could say, "Sarah, I see you've been working hard and I appreciate that. Your speaking skills are improving, but I noticed you struggle with pronunciation in some words. Let's practice those words together. Keep practicing, and remember, it's normal to make mistakes along the way. We all learn at different paces. I'm proud of your progress, and I know you're capable of even more. Step 8. Reading comprehension and writing. Deep reflection. Now let's move on to comprehension and writing exercises that will help you reflect on what you've learned. Next steps. Would you like me to create a downloadable workbook that includes all these activities, role plays, writing prompts, and vocabulary exercises? Step 12. Advanced speaking practice. Complex scenarios. Now that you're comfortable with basic speaking tasks, let's tackle more advanced conversational scenarios. These will help you handle complex situations in English with ease. Scenario 1. A business meeting in English context. You're Alex, and you're attending a business meeting in English, where you have to discuss new language learning programs. Your task: role play a discussion where you pitch a new idea for an English course. Use professional vocabulary and structured language. What you could say: "Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to present a new program that I believe will truly benefit our learners." This course focuses on conversational English for beginners, with a special emphasis on practical, everyday language. We've included interactive activities and real-life scenarios to make learning engaging and effective. I believe this approach will help students feel more confident in their speaking ability. I look forward to hearing your feedback and discussing how we can implement it. Role play exercise. You can even simulate the rest of the meeting, where the other person asks questions and you respond. Scenario 2. Giving a public speech. Context: Alex is invited to give a TED Talk on language learning and overcoming the fear of speaking English in public. Your task: prepare an inspiring speech. Think about how you would deliver this speech in front of a large audience. What you could say: "Learning a new language is a journey, not a destination. I remember the fear and anxiety I felt when I first started speaking English, but through practice, patience, and the courage to make mistakes, I've grown not just as a language learner, but as a person. Language connects us all, and it opens doors to endless opportunities." My message to all of you today is simple. Don't let fear hold you back. Embrace your mistakes, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Role play exercise. You can practice delivering this speech out loud. Focus on intonation, body language, and confidence. Scenario 3. A cultural exchange context. You're Alex at a cultural exchange event, meeting people from different countries and discussing the role of language in understanding different cultures. Your task: imagine you're leading a discussion on how learning English has helped you understand different cultures and connect with people globally. What you could say: "Through my journey with learning English, I've had the privilege of connecting with people from all over the world. English has allowed me to learn about different cultures, share experiences, and exchange ideas. It's not just about the words, it's about building relationships and understanding each other's backgrounds. What I've learned is that language is the bridge that connects us, regardless of where we come from." Role play exercise. Practice answering follow-up questions like, "How do you think language can help us understand each other's cultures better? What cultural differences have you encountered while learning English?" Step 13. Advanced writing, critical thinking, and reflection. Let's deepen your writing practice with tasks that require critical thinking and structured responses. Writing task 1. Argumentative essay topic. Is it more important to focus on grammar or fluency when learning a language? Instructions: write a 350 to 500 word essay where you discuss both sides of the argument, grammar versus fluency. Then, explain your opinion and why you think one is more important for language learners. Example. Structure. Introduction. Briefly introduce the topic and state your opinion. Body paragraph 1. Discuss the importance of grammar in learning a language. Body paragraph 2. Discuss the importance of fluency and speaking practice. Conclusion. Sum up the argument and restate your opinion. Writing task 2. Personal reflection topic. The role of mistakes in my language learning journey. Instructions. Write a 300 to 400 word reflection on how mistakes have helped you grow as a language learner. Share examples from your own experience or Alex's story. Discuss how mistakes can be seen as stepping stones rather than failures. Example: structure, introduction. Discuss the initial fear of making mistakes. Body, provide examples of mistakes you've made and what you learned from them. Conclusion, reflect on how your perspective on mistakes has changed over time. Step 14, listening comprehension practice. Advanced listening. Let's increase the level of difficulty for listening practice. Here are some advanced listening resources to challenge your comprehension. Listening tasks, TED Talks. These talks cover a wide range of topics. Watch one of the talks and then answer these questions. What was the main idea of the talk? What supporting points did the speaker use to reinforce their message? What did you find most interesting or inspiring about the talk? Podcasts. Listen to English podcasts that discuss culture, education, or personal development. After listening, summarize the key points in writing or record yourself speaking. Some recommendations: The English We Speak, BBC Learning English. The Tim Ferriss Show, for language learners. BBC 6-Minute English, great for intermediate to advanced learners. BBC 6-Minute English, great for intermediate to advanced learners. Listening exercise. After listening, try to paraphrase what you heard, i.e., say it in your own words. Try to record your answers or write them down, focusing on clarity and detail. Step 15. Join an online English club or group. Engaging with others can make your learning more dynamic and enjoyable. Join an online community to practice regularly. Language exchange communities, Tandem, Hello Talk, Speaky. Practice with native speakers or other learners. Online speaking clubs, Toastmasters, improve your speaking, presentation, and leadership skills. English club or meetup groups. Look for virtual meetups where people gather to practice English. Social media groups. Join Facebook, Reddit, or Discord groups focused on English learning. You can ask questions, share resources, and practice conversations. Step 16. Self-assessment and goal review. Now that you've made significant progress, it's time to self-assess and set new goals. Consider the following. What skills have you improved the most? Speaking, listening, writing, etc. What areas still need more focus? Grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation. What specific goals do you want to achieve in the next 3 to 6 months? Goal setting. Example, short term. In the next month, I'll record myself speaking for 5 minutes every day. Medium term. I will complete an English proficiency test, e.g., IELTS, TOEFL, by the end of this year. Long term. I'll be able to give a 10-minute presentation in English at an international event within 1 year. Final thoughts. You've come a long way, and with these advanced tasks, you're taking your English skills to the next level. Whether you're focusing on speaking, writing, or listening, active practice is key to improvement. Continue pushing yourself to engage with the language, and remember, consistency is the key to mastering English. Next steps. Would you like to receive a customized action plan to follow for the next few weeks or months? Step 17. Advanced speaking, real-world conversations and presentations. Let's step into situations where you might need to speak English naturally and confidently in the real world. This will help you prepare for more complex conversations and professional settings. Scenario 1. Networking at an international conference context. You are at an international language learning conference, and you need to introduce yourself and talk to other attendees about your experiences and expertise. Your task: prepare a short introduction and a few questions you might ask other attendees. What you could say: hello, my name is Alex, and I'm a language enthusiast. I've been learning English for several years, and I'm passionate about helping others overcome the fear of speaking. I noticed you're from country, and I'd love to hear how English is taught there. Do you have any unique methods or challenges in your language learning community? Role play exercise. Imagine a conversation with a conference attendee and ask open-ended questions about their experience with English. Practice responses like, what motivates you to keep improving your English? How do you practice English outside of the classroom? Scenario 2. Job interview for an English teacher position. Context: you're applying for a teaching position, and they ask you about your teaching methods and how you engage with students. Your task: think about how you would answer in an interview about your methods for teaching English. What you could say: I believe that the key to teaching English is creating an interactive and supportive environment. I focus on communicative learning, where students learn through real-life conversations, games, and practice. I encourage students to speak without fear of making mistakes, as this is the best way to build confidence and fluency. Role-play exercise. Practice explaining your teaching philosophy, answering questions about classroom management, and discussing how you help students who are struggling. Scenario 3. Managing an English language learning team. Context: you're Alex, managing a team of English teachers. You need to discuss the development of new materials and strategies for engaging students. Your task: prepare an agenda for a team meeting and discuss how you want to improve the learning materials or student engagement. What you could say: we've been seeing great results with the current curriculum, but I think we can do more to incorporate multimedia. Let's discuss adding more interactive videos and group activities to help students practice their speaking skills. How do you feel about introducing a more conversational approach to our lessons? Role-play exercise. Hold a mock meeting where you suggest new teaching strategies. Invite others to share their ideas and foster discussion. Step 18. Writing, preparing for formal and informal writing. Now, let's explore more advanced writing tasks that will help you build fluency and accuracy, both in professional and casual contexts. Writing. Task 1. Persuasive letter. Email. Context: you need to write a letter to a school principal suggesting changes to improve the English curriculum. The letter should be formal and persuasive. Your task: write a letter or email to the principal, presenting your ideas clearly and professionally. What you could say: Dear Principal's name, I hope this message finds you well. I would like to propose some changes to our English curriculum that I believe will greatly benefit our students. We could incorporate more interactive activities, such as group discussions and multimedia exercises, to help students develop their speaking and listening skills. I am confident that this will create a more engaging and effective learning environment. I look forward to discussing this further with you. Role-play exercise: practice reading your letter aloud to make sure it sounds clear and professional. You can even record yourself reading it to focus on tone and pronunciation. Writing. Task 2. Analyzing a current issue in English learning context. Write a 500-word essay discussing the challenges that non-native speakers face when learning English and suggest potential solutions. Your task: research common challenges such as accent, grammar, or lack of speaking practice, and propose solutions. What you could say: one of the most common challenges in English learning is pronunciation. Many students find it difficult to pronounce certain sounds because their native language doesn't include them. A potential solution is to incorporate more listening and speaking exercises, focusing specifically on difficult sounds. Furthermore, providing students with audio resources for self-practice can help improve their pronunciation over time. Grammar is also a challenge, but by using interactive tools such as quizzes and games, students can understand rules in a fun and engaging way. Role-play exercise. Share your essay with a friend or tutor and discuss your ideas. Ask them to provide feedback on how you could improve your argument or structure. Step 19. Listening, advanced comprehension and analysis. Let's challenge your listening skills with more complex materials that require higher comprehension and critical thinking. Listening task 1. TED Talk or documentary context. Choose a TED Talk or a documentary on an educational topic. After watching, answer detailed questions. Your task: listen carefully, take notes, and summarize the main ideas of the talk. Reflect on the speaker's message and the examples they use to support their arguments. Example: watch The Power of Vulnerability by Brené Brown and answer: what is vulnerability and why is it important? How does vulnerability relate to connection? What advice does the speaker give about embracing vulnerability? Role-play exercise. Practice summarizing the TED Talk aloud. Focus on fluency and ensuring that you can explain the main points clearly in your own words. Listening task 2. Podcasts with complex content. Context. Choose a podcast on a topic like business, technology, or global affairs. Your task. Listen to the episode, then write a summary of the key points. Focus on extracting the most important details and reflecting on what you learned. Example, listen to the Tim Ferriss show and summarize the main advice or strategies shared by the guest. Role play exercise. After summarizing the podcast, engage in a mock discussion with a friend or tutor. Discuss the ideas you learned from the podcast and how they might apply to your own life. Step 20. Continuous practice and self-improvement. At this stage, consistency is key. To ensure that you keep progressing, let's create a study plan that encourages you to practice English every day. Study plan for continued improvement. Daily. 15 to 20 minutes of speaking practice, role plays, discussions, or monologues. 10 to 15 minutes of listening, TED Talks, podcasts, or YouTube channels. Weekly. Write one essay or reflection, e.g., on a current event or personal experiences. Watch one documentary or listen to a podcast, then discuss or summarize it in English. Monthly. Record a 5-minute video talking about a topic in English, e.g., your favorite book, a travel experience, or language learning tips. Participate in an online English-speaking group or language exchange. Step 21. Tracking your progress. As you continue learning, it's important to track your progress and set new goals. Every month, take some time to review. What have I improved in? What still challenges me? What new goal will I set for the next month? Suggestions for tracking. Create a learning journal. Write down your thoughts, challenges, and achievements. This helps you reflect and stay motivated. Use language apps for feedback. Apps like Duolingo, Babbel, or Italki can help you track your learning and offer feedback on your progress. Next steps. Do you want to focus on specific areas like advanced grammar or pronunciation? Would you like more interactive role-play scenarios for real-life situations? Step 22. Mastering English fluency, advanced techniques. At this stage, it's time to implement techniques that will help you speak fluidly, naturally, and with confidence in English. You're now going to challenge yourself with more complex and nuanced aspects of the language. Technique 1. Shadowing, imitating native speakers. Shadowing is a technique where you repeat exactly what a native speaker says. This is an effective way to improve your accent, intonation, and overall fluency. How to do it. Choose a short clip of an English speaker. This could be from a TED Talk, podcast, movie scene, or news broadcast. Play the clip and repeat every word, trying to imitate the tone, speed, and rhythm of the speaker. Focus on pronunciation and intonation. After repeating, listen to the clip again and record yourself doing the same. Compare your recording to the original and note any differences. Goal: perform shadowing practice for 10 to 15 minutes a day, focusing on small clips that are around 1 to 2 minutes long. Over time, this will help your speaking sound more natural and fluent. Technique 2. Speaking in real-life situations. Now that you're getting more comfortable with the language, it's time to apply your skills to real-world conversations. Action plan, language exchange. Find a speaking partner, online or offline, for regular conversations. Platforms like Tandem, HelloTalk, or italki allow you to find native speakers to practice with. Conversation topics. Aim to have 5 to 10-minute conversations on various topics each week. These can range from discussing your hobbies to discussing news events or personal experiences. Additional practice. Set up a weekly challenge where you practice a new speaking task each week, such as explaining a difficult topic in English, giving a 2-minute summary of a movie or book you've recently enjoyed, talking about your daily routine in detail. Step 23. Advanced writing, creating professional content. For a deeper understanding of English, let's focus on advanced writing tasks that will help you polish your writing skills and use English for professional and academic purposes. Writing. Task 1. Writing formal reports or articles. Context. Imagine you're writing an article for a language learning blog about the importance of speaking practice in acquiring fluency. Your task: write a 500 to 700 word article on why speaking practice is essential in language learning. Use formal language and evidence-based arguments. What you could say: speaking practice is the cornerstone of language acquisition. While grammar are essential, true fluency can only be achieved through active speaking. Studies show that learners who engage in regular speaking practice retain vocabulary better and communicate more confidently. Regular practice allows learners to develop their pronunciation, tone, and rhythm, making it easier to engage in real-life conversations. Role-play exercise. After writing the article, try summarizing it in a short speech or presentation. Focus on fluency and clarity. Writing task 2. Preparing for an academic essay. Context. Write an essay in response to a prompt on the advantages and disadvantages of online learning. Your task: develop a structured academic essay with an introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion. Provide balanced arguments and specific examples. What you could say: online learning offers flexibility and accessibility, making it ideal for learners with busy schedules. However, it also presents challenges, such as limited social interaction and the need for strong self-discipline. While some students thrive in this independent learning environment, others may struggle with the lack of face-to-face interaction and real-time feedback. Role-play exercise. After writing the essay, practice discussing your points aloud as if you were presenting them to an audience. This will help you develop speaking confidence when presenting complex ideas. Step 24. Listening. Deepening comprehension. To master listening skills, let's focus on listening to complex content and analyzing it critically. Listening task 1. Academic lectures and podcasts. Task: choose an academic lecture or podcast on a complex topic, d.e., economics, technology, psychology. Listen carefully and answer the following questions. What is the main argument or thesis of the speaker? What supporting evidence or examples does the speaker provide? Do you agree or disagree with the speaker's points? Why? How to practice. Listen to the podcast or lecture once without taking notes. Replay the content and take detailed notes on key points. Summarize the lecture or podcast and discuss it with a speaking partner or tutor. Listening. Task 2. Analyzing news programs or documentaries. Task: watch a news broadcast or documentary and answer questions such as: what is the central issue being discussed? What opinions are expressed by different speakers? How does the speaker use language to persuade or inform the audience? Goal: summarize the news program or documentary in your own words and discuss it with a partner or in an online group. Step 25. Immersing yourself in English daily. At this stage, immersion is crucial for continued growth in language proficiency. The more you surround yourself with English, the faster you'll improve. Action plan: change your device. Language: set your phone, computer, and social media accounts to English to become more accustomed to the language. Watch movies and TV shows in English. Choose shows or movies that interest you. Turn off subtitles after a few weeks to challenge your listening skills. Read English books, articles, or blogs. Dedicate 20 minutes a day to reading in English. Choose a variety of materials such as novels, news websites, and blogs. This helps you build vocabulary and gain exposure to different writing styles. Write in English daily. Keep a journal, write posts on social media, or even create short stories or essays in English. Consistent writing practice will improve your language proficiency. Step 26. Tracking and reflecting on your progress. You've now implemented advanced techniques for speaking, writing, listening, and reading. Let's review how to keep track of your improvement and continue progressing. Self-reflection. Review your progress regularly. Every month, set aside time to reflect on what you've learned. Have your speaking and writing abilities improved? Are you more comfortable with advanced topics? Can you speak with more fluency? Set new learning goals. Focus on specific areas of improvement, like pronunciation, academic writing, or advanced conversation. For example, I want to confidently discuss politics in English, or I will write a 1,000-word academic essay on a current global issue. Seek feedback from others. Have a conversation with a tutor or language partner, and ask for constructive feedback on your speaking or writing. Focus on areas like pronunciation, coherence, or grammar. Final thoughts. Keeping motivation high. As you continue this journey, remember that consistency and dedication are key. Learning a language is not a destination, but an ongoing process of growth. Keep challenging yourself, set new goals, and most importantly, enjoy the journey. Next steps. Would you like to receive feedback on your writing or help with specific speaking tasks, such as preparing for a presentation? Do you want to practice using English in more specialized fields, like business or academic English? Step 27. Expanding your vocabulary. Advanced techniques. As you progress in your English learning, it's crucial to keep expanding your vocabulary to enhance fluency and allow you to express yourself more precisely. Technique 1. Learn vocabulary through context. Instead of memorizing isolated words, learn vocabulary in context. This helps you understand how words are used in real-world situations. How to do it. Choose a topic you enjoy, e.g., travel, technology, politics, and read articles or watch videos related to that topic. While reading or listening, highlight new words and phrases that are used frequently or are interesting. Look up their meanings, but focus on how they are used in sentences. Try to create your own sentences with these words to remember them. Action plan. Dedicate 15 minutes a day to reading articles or watching videos related to a specific topic. Afterward, pick 5 to 10 new words and make sure you understand their context. Technique 2. Use vocabulary apps. There are plenty of apps that help you learn and review vocabulary through spaced repetition and interactive methods. Recommended apps. Anki, great for flashcards and spaced repetition. Quizlet, another app for vocabulary learning with various exercises. Memrise, offers vocabulary building with a focus on real-world usage and context. Action plan. Set aside 10 minutes a day for vocabulary review using one of these apps. Aim for consistency and gradually increase the difficulty level. Technique 3. Word families and synonyms. To deepen your vocabulary knowledge, focus on word families, e.g., beauty, beautiful, beautifully, and synonyms. This allows you to use a wider range of vocabulary when speaking or writing. How to do it? Learn different forms of a word, such as nouns, adjectives, and verbs. For example, create, verb, creation, noun, creative, adjective, decide, verb, decision, noun, decisive, adjective. Learn synonyms to express ideas in different ways. For instance, happy, joyful, content, pleased, elated. Action plan. Every week, choose a word family to focus on and learn at least 5 synonyms. Use these words in your daily practice. Step 28. Mastering pronunciation. Advanced techniques. Pronunciation can be one of the toughest aspects to master, especially as you work towards sounding more natural and fluent. Let's look at strategies for improving your pronunciation. Technique 1. Focus on stress and intonation. English is a stress-timed language, meaning that certain syllables are stressed more than others. Understanding and practicing stress patterns and intonation can make your speech sound more natural. How to do it. Listen to native speakers and pay attention to the way they emphasize certain syllables. For instance, in the word photograph, the stress is on the first syllable, pho to graph. Practice intonation by mimicking the rise and fall of the speaker's voice, especially in questions or statements. Action plan. Spend 5 minutes a day listening to recordings or videos. Afterward, try to repeat what you hear while focusing on stress and intonation. Technique 2. Minimal pairs practice. Minimal pairs are words that only differ in one sound, e.g., ship versus sheep. Practicing these can help you distinguish and produce sounds that are difficult for non-native speakers. How to do it. Find a list of minimal pairs, e.g., pat versus bat, bit versus beat. Listen to the sounds and practice repeating them. Record yourself and compare your pronunciation with the native speakers. Action plan: 10 to 15 minutes daily practicing minimal pairs, either by listening to videos or using apps like Forvo, which offers native pronunciations. Technique 3: speak with native speakers. Conversing with native speakers is one of the best ways to improve your pronunciation. It allows you to get feedback on your intonation and accent. How to do it: join online language exchange platforms like italki, HelloTalk, or Tandem to find language partners who are native English speakers. Schedule regular practice sessions and ask your conversation partner to give you feedback on your pronunciation. Action plan: join a weekly conversation group or find a speaking partner who is a native English speaker. Focus on listening carefully and repeating what you hear. Step 29: Academic and Business English, Specialized Learning. To increase your ability to speak and write fluently in professional or academic contexts, it's important to build your business English and academic writing skills. Business English, Communicating Professionally. Action plan: practice business-related conversations and focus on key phrases used in meetings, presentations, or emails. Examples: starting a meeting. Good morning, everyone. Let's get started. Today we'll discuss negotiation phrases. I believe we could reach an agreement if I would like to propose a solution. Making a presentation. As you can see in this chart, the numbers have increased by. To summarize, we have identified the key challenges as Technique 2: Public Speaking and Presentations. This will help you build confidence in speaking to larger audiences, which is often required in academic or professional settings. How to do it: write a short presentation on a topic of interest. Practice delivering it, focusing on clarity, structure, and pronunciation. Record your presentation and watch it to identify areas of improvement. Action plan: present to a friend or family member or record yourself regularly. Challenge yourself to increase the length of your presentations over time. Final thoughts: keep growing with English learning. A language is a dynamic process, and by now you should have built a solid foundation. To ensure continuous growth, keep challenging yourself with new topics and advanced techniques. Stay consistent in your practice and track your progress regularly. Engage with others in English as much as possible, whether that's through conversations, debates, or writing. You've made great strides, and the best part of language learning is that there's always something new to discover. Keep setting new goals, stay motivated, and enjoy the journey. Next steps: would you like more specific speaking tasks or writing prompts? Are you interested in real-world practice opportunities like language immersion or language exchanges? Would you like to create a personalized study plan for the next month to keep your learning on track? Let me know how you'd like to proceed, and we can keep fine-tuning your English skills.